Okay, so let's get started to the last P of the agricultural products marketing. So we talk about products, price, place last week, and also this week is promotion. So let's go through the chapters of this last P. So what I'm gonna teach you is first the concept of promotion. So promotion is not just the promote, it's actually the communication. So we need to include five things here or five tools of the promotion. First one is advertising. Second one is personal selling, like the person who sells the product, and then sales promotion, public relations, and also the last one, direct marketing. So all five tools here will be included in this chapter, and I'm gonna teach you one by one. So the first one is the concepts of promotion on marketing management of agricultural products. So I will give you the definitions, importance, and the communication for process in brief. And then we're gonna go through the factors that influencing the selection of promotion tools. So let's talk about this first. Because you are marketing students, so you might hear or might heard these words before. This is like promotional mix, a promotion mix. So promotion mix is actually the specific blend of promotional tools that you use in the company in order to persuade and apply with the communications. In order to have the customer value and build the customer relationship, so you try to use the tools and then communicate specifically in persuasion of the values of the consumers and try to create the good relationship between the consumers and you. So this is promotion mix. So we use this term promotion mix because actually promotion mix combined with with five promotion tools. So first one is advertising. Second one is personal selling. Third one is public relations. Fourth one is the sales promotion, and the last one is direct marketing. So let's talk about the first one, promotion. Oh, sorry. I think my mouse is gonna have something wrong. Okay. So why promotion is important? So promotion is actually, like we just talked, it's actually included in four P's or marketing mix. So don't get confused between uh, promotion mix and marketing mix. I think I should use another thing, not just my mouse. It should be good. Okay. So sorry. So promotion mix is the mix of the equipment, the tools of promotion. But marketing mix is like four P's. So and promotion is the last P of promotion. So promotion is the methods that used by a firms or business to inform, to persuade a target market. So if you think promotion is just makes some people buy your product, it's not just like that. It's actually you need to inform or give some information and try to convince them to buy your product or use your service. So what is the importance of the promotions? Promotion is used in first attract new customers because we need to have a new consumers or customer. So we need to increase the awareness of the particular products on the market. It's like you have show, okay, I have new products on the market and this is the product that we will launch. So we need to increase the awareness or make them perceive this is the new one. Second one, increase the brand royalties. So if you have your product and you have your target consumers already, so the next thing you should do is to make the link or the bond between you and your customer. So what you should do, you should make your product's image or company image. In this case, we try to increase the brand royalty. So the more they trust your brand, the more they use your product. So we need to reinforce the image of the products. Then the third one, encourage existing consumers to repurchase or buy your products more. So if we have the promotion, you can increase the rate of usage or can increase uh, the amount of the product that they will use. So you might try to use some tools to increase this. So this is the third one, encourage existing consumers. Fourth one, provide information. So we provide some information in order to make them make some decisions. If you remember, we have learned the decision making process, and one of them is the information search. So if you can make some important details or the point that they're looking for, it might make very fast decisions on their in your products. So I would encourage you to think about the details of your products that you would like to present. Like you're gonna buy something and then they present the point of the things that is good in your product. So that is provide information. And the last one, encourage new and existing consumers to purchase the new products. So we have the product development process. So we have the new consumers, new products, and also we have the existing consumer and existing product. So what you should make is try to create the new consumers and maintain the current consumers. So what we should do, you should use the promotion to serve this part. So there are all five important things that you need to use when you use promotion. Then we talk about definition, we talk about importance. How about communication? Like we just talked, promotion is like inform and persuade. But how you going to do that? You're going to use the communication process. So marketing communications are the means, like the ways that a company try to inform, persuade, and remind the consumers in both direct way or indirect way about the products or brand that they sell. So there are three key things here. When we talk about marketing communication, we think about inform, persuade, and remind the consumers to know that okay, we have the product and you should buy our product. So this is the definition of marketing communication. So let's talk about the step of effective communications. But before that, please think about many times you talk with your friends and it might not very good communication because you might lost the concept or your friend talk too much or talk too less. So what we should concern is we need to develop the effective communications. So what you should do first, identify the target audience or the target consumers. So you should think you should focus on the specific group of the target consumers or general consumers. But mostly based on my experience and many marketings book, they prefer to think about the specific group of the consumers because targeting, because you can't make it all available for all people. Different people have different tastes, but if you can cluster, if you can group them just the same group, it should be better for you. And we can use the specific marketing mix on your target group too. And then don't forget to think about the attitude of the consumers, what they like and what the image of your products that you would like to present to the consumers. Why we need to consider the attitude? Sometimes if you don't concern about the attitude, your product might be in the wrong way. For example, if in some country prefer to eat the dog meat, but in Thailand we don't have that kind of meat because we think it's just not type of the meat that you should do. So this is the first thing that you should concern. In Vietnam, they have eaten the dog meat, so it's okay. So this is an example. And the second thing, after you identify your target consumer, please determine the objectives because the objective is leading to the other actions. So you need to concern about the response of the consumers, how you make the satisfactions on them. Then it's gonna link to the process of purchase. Sometimes if you have the issue, if you have a problem about the attitude that the consumer have, you might need to change the attitude by providing or giving some information to the market. And then sometimes cognitive process is coming. Sometimes you need to understand the process of making decision, and then you need to understand how or what is the step you should focus. Like if you want to change their consumers' attitude, you might get started at the beginning. What is the problem about your products? Or what they think about your products? And finally, you need to concern about the behavior of the consumer as well. Because different people, different group have different behaviors. After you have known the objectives of the communication, it's going to be good for you to give some message directly to them. And the third one, design the communications. Please make sure that you're concerned about the content. So the content or the information should not be too much, so just enough for them to perceive and understand. That's clear. Sometimes structure is also important. Structure in terms of the the style. Like sometimes you explain something, you keep some information, like sequence from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step. That's fine. But sometimes if it is the serious problem, you might need to have some cause and effects. Like you present in terms of good and bad, or try to convince them. So we have different style, form, different target group, different communication style. If you deal with teenagers, you might not need to use the newspaper. You need to use the infographic. That should be better, for example. And then don't forget that you need to have some person who you can trust and attractive enough to be the influencers. So communication is not just anyone, but if you want to have a good communication, please select the suitable influencers of the person who gonna communicate that information. Next one, after you have design communications, you have the person who talked to already, then select the channel. Channel here can be three things, can be the person, like just normal people, non-person, like you use the other channel, not just person to person, or sometimes you need to integrate. One tools might not be enough, so try to combine together with many tools should be better in some cases. Then, after you select the channels, you need to concern about the money, the budget that you need to focus, because different setup have different budget. If you want to concern about just small group of people, which is they are the real consumers. So you can save your money. But if you want to target, if you want to communicate with entire of the country, so you should pay a lot about it. Normally, what we concern is please concern about the cost that gonna be used in effective ways. Like you use some communication and that is not reach to your consumers. So try to do the research, try to think about the objective, try to decide the communications because that's all things that you need to pay. Last one, no, not last yet. Before last one. After that, you need to decide on media mix. So sometimes you need to apply some medias more than one. So you need to think about the cost, efficiency of the tools that you select, and the two characteristic. So it's linked to what I just talked about select channel. Like we're dealing with teenagers like your age. You should use the internet sources. You should use the online sources. So the two character is different. But if you're dealing with the older people, you might need to think about the other ways, like maybe just paper or talk face to face should be better. So please think about it. Last one. After you plan from step one, two, three, four, five, six, this is the last thing you should concern. You should concern about measures the result or try to apply their integrated media communication. Because if you do something, you need to make sure that the the result is good enough for attempt that you pay or not. Like here, you might think about information remember from the consumer. You send a message to them, communicate to them very often per day, like two or three times per day, but they did not receive it. That means your communication might have something wrong. Or the frequencies. That is the reason why many advertisement on television they kind of show every hour, every half an hour to make sure that consumer perceive and understand and remember the product. Don't forget about feeling. So how they feel about your product. I remember some case the advertisement make people feel so sad because it's not hit with their mind and it's make they feel angry because it's about the religion. It's about the king issue. So please think about it. And then don't forget to think about the attitude after you do some communications, please make sure the attitude that is changed because the attitude is one of the most important factors that make consumer make the decision. If they don't like something, they're gonna have the negative attitude and they will not buy your products. And last one, please concern about consumer behaviors. You might ask on the survey, on the exit survey, did you perceive the communications channel that we try to send, or what is the channel that you perceive the most? So that is how you measure the effectiveness of communications. So what is the factor influencing the selections of promotion tools? The first one, again, communication objective. So we just talk the definitions of the communications. We actually focus on inform, persuade, and remind. So if your objective is like just inform the information. So in this case, you need to create awareness of the consumers or the perception of the consumers. Advertising, sales promotions, public relation can use all together. And then you can combine all together too in order to make it stronger effects. Second one, if you want to persuade, if you want to convince them to change their mind or to make the current consumers feel happy or feel sure in some of the things that they using. So what you should do, you should use advertising in order to just send a message to them to make them have better understanding. So in this case, advertising is used and then combined together with personal selling. So let's think about this one. If you talk to your friends, person by person is better than just reading something or watching something, right? So personal selling make the consumer confidence about your products. And then advertising is make you have more clear and understand more about the products. So combine all things together is used for persuade. Last one, you want to remind. So you can use the personal selling combined together with sales promotion. So if you want to remind that this is a product is available on the market and we should consume more. So it's actually you want to have the purchase decision. So you want to make the people buy your products again. So in this case, sales personal selling like salesperson and sales promotion would be combined together. So this is example of communication objectives. So please think about this one. On the assignment on and or and on the mini projects. So I would ask you to create or to think about the promotions tools that you will use. So please think how to inform, how to persuade, how to remind the products from the consumers. So the more details that you provide, the more points that you will earn. So that is the first one. Second one, natures of the product and service that is offered. So actually, the product or service that offer have very diverse or different. Some product is standardized because it's already produced in the same form, but some product is have the different in terms of the details. So in this case, you might need to think on the target consumers. Do they need to have the same products or not? Like if I want to sell the canned fish, so it should be the same quality, right? But for slightly modification, it's like you personalize or produce in just specific group of the people. So in this case, you need to think about the promotions tools that is suitable for you to use. For example, if you're dealing with the consumer market, so advertising is should be better. Like you should publicize, you should announce in the general. But if you're dealing with industry market or the processing unit, so you need to focus on the salesperson because they can make the deal aim at that time or provide some information because advertising is just provide one direction but salesperson can talk two ways. And don't forget to think about product life cycle too, because if the product life cycle is in the different stage, the product is different characteristic and the promotion tools that you need to apply is different too. Last one, market characteristic. So market characteristic, you should think about available consumers in target market. So if the people group together, or like, sorry, if the people have a lot, advertising is should be better because you can send the message to many of them. But if your target consumer is just a few, salesperson might be better. You can talk to them directly. Or frequency. If some product is frequently purchased, so promotion is not a promotion tool that is suitable for frequently used product is the advertising. But if they did not buy a lot, just buy a few times per week, per day, no, maybe per month. So salesperson is better. Value. If the value is just inexpensive or very cheap, advertising is be better. But if the value is very expensive, salesperson should be served in this part. Geographical distribution. If your group of the target group combine together or just pack in specific area, please use the salesperson because it's very easy to reach the target consumers. But if your consumers spread through the country, like Thailand, so advertising is should be better. Okay. Then, so we just finished the first topics. The second to the sixth gonna be one by one of the marketing, sorry, the promotion mix. First one is advertising. So advertising is actually the communication which is non-personal. So we did not use any person and you should pay for it. Uh, about an organization and its product that transmit to the target consumer through the mass media. So the keyword is you use non-personal communication, then send the message to the mass media, like a big group of the people with the mass communication. For example, is the promote you use advertising to promote the product, service, ideas, image, and sometimes you use for just inform any issue that you have. Sometimes you use advertising about yourself like per people. So the key point is public side and Forrester. So you use in non-personal communication and send to the mass media. So what is the objective of the advertising? So at first is we used for informative, like giving some information. You use for persuade, try to convince the people. You use for remind, and then we used to reinforce them to buy your product or use your products again. What is the good things of advertising? So it's actually it's reach to the mass consumers, mass audience, but and also it's usually cost efficient per person that you can reach because you send one time and it's sent to many people. But and also it can be repetition of the message. Like you can re relaunch, you can represent in just one media. But good thing and bad things. Bad thing is absolute expense might be high. So the cost in the total might be very expensive. For example, if you want to have very high frequent or we call the prime time of the television, you might to pay a lot about the money to have that company to show your products. Maybe 10,000, maybe 1 million per 30 seconds. So that's cost a lot. Response to ad is quite low, yes, because sometimes actually at this time many consumers just don't want to see any advertising. So if they watch television, they just change the channel or just try to listen but don't focus. Last one, advertising is less persuasive than personal selling. I would say this is true because personal selling is like you sell the product directly and talk one by one. But advertising, you didn't know anything. You just pray, okay, it should be hit with the consumer. But personal selling is more effective in this case. So some major type of the media that we use for advertising is like newspaper, which is very traditional one, very old style. For now, newspaper is dying. Televisions, we still use television. We direct mail. We have the radios. Many people still listen to the radios in the morning, and radio have very big impact in the past because radio is like the channel that many that's linked to many people because we still love to listen the news and also the music. Magazine is quite different from newspaper because magazines last for longer time than newspaper, maybe just 15 days or 1 month. So magazine can provide more information and last longer than just newspapers. Outdoor, so here are example are the pictures of outdoor advertising. It's like the banner or the screen that you can see many advertisings. Newsletters, sometimes they have the paper that have information about the products. Brochures, it's like when you go to the supermarket or department store that give you some flyers. Telephone, sometimes they call you and in order to just present their products. But I would say for now, we are in the world of internet, so you focus mainly on these sources. Like you go to the website, you go to the many many social media. This is all about internet. Or when you go to the cinemas, you can see the advertising on the screen before the cinema is begin. Then product placement. This is clever now that you can print and you can show some products on the vehicle or on the surface of the items that you really use, like for the bus. Like here, they present Oreo and then they show how it should be like dip into the milk. So this is how we eat Oreo. Then last one, point of purchase. Point of purchase is like the media that you might have pay attention a lot or draw attention because the point of purchase is hit with your mind without thinking. It's like incident or unplanned situation. You go to buy something and you feel like, okay, like here we have tomato ketchup Heinz. Oh, it's look good. And then they just ask you, please try to taste the new product. So this is the media that you can use for advertising. Let's talk about advertising process. If you remember advertising, we have three key things: inform, persuade, and remind. So some case like if you want to inform, please make sure that you use this one, like probiotics. So you need to inform about how the probiotic is good for your health, how it's prevent from the bad things, so how it's good for your body. So this is the inform. Persuade. Persuade is like you try to compare or try to convince. It's like this case. This is cell phone users. In America, we have two big maybe three big provider mobile phones provider, so they share the coverage between AT&T and Verizon. So for now, Verizon is popular more than AT&T, so they might conclude if you want to have the signal that is available entire of the country, please go to Verizon. So this is persuasion. Last one, remind. So remind is like you show the pictures or show the feeling of the people who consume your product. It's like remind the happiness that you have from your products. So this is the mission. So mission should link at least one of three things here because it's actually the the target that you need to go. After that, when you have complete about mission, go for money. So you should think about the product life cycle. If you just in the middle, I'm sorry, if you're just in the beginning of the product life cycle, advertising should be used a lot. But in the measuring stage, the in between, like in the middle. Advertising still need, but not much like the first stage. But in the decline stage, you should not focus on advertising a lot, just trying to use the salesperson to um, to have the market share from them. Then market share and consumer base. So you need to think about the market share that you would like to target and the consumer base too, because it's dealing with the money that you need to use. If your market share is quite big, so please try to use the media that is announce or distribute your information widely. But the money that you should have is must be high too. Then competition. So high competition, the amount of money that you need to use is a lot too. Clutter. Clutter is mean grouping. So if your products or your competitor is like grouping, so you need to force and fight with them a lot. So your money should be high. Advertising frequency, the more frequency, the more you need to pay. So, and last one, product substitutability. So, if your product is replaced by the other products, so you should have a problem because the money that you try to use should be higher because you need to make them feel like your product has something special. So this is the second step, money. The third one is combined together between message and media. How about the message? Message, you need to generate the message, evaluate them, select them, and use it. So again, that we just talk. Please concern about information, the content that the consumer really want to know. Then sometimes you need to concern about social responsibility about the reviews too, because the message that you send should have a good look on your products. So how about the media? So please think about reachabilities, like how to reach the consumers, frequency that you need to use, impact of the advertising, major type of the advertising that you need to use, the media vehicle, timing, specific time or general time or just certain time, or geographical media allocation, like the media that you need to use all country or world or just in some country. So that is the media. Last one, measurement. So you need to measure the communication impact or the sales impact. So there are two things. Sometimes make sure to use the response, like have the response that you send the advertising and then they receive that message. We call communication impact. Sales impact is the other terms. So sales impact is like you seeing the result of the advertising process. If the person or if the consumer buy your product more, you should assume this is might be effects from advertising, and that is sales impact. The second promotion mix is personal selling. So personal selling is the oral communication. You talk face to face. So with one or more buyers. That is from the representatives of the company. So they have intentionally to make the exchange. So in this case, face-to-face is also the best thing because the buyer can inform and persuade, and the consumer might make decisions very easy. Actually, the company spend more money on personal selling than others element in promotion mix because personal selling is like you use the person. You need to talk one by one or one person to talk in one group, so you need to pay them more. The good thing is it's more persuasive because you can use some skills, you can use some um, technique to convince them, to persuade them. But the bad thing is it costs a lot. So this is very expensive. So we just talk about representatives of the company. So what is the type of sales representatives? Sometimes sales representative can be delivered, like you have a food product like Grab or Food Panda, so that is delivered. So this is sales representatives. So they should have a good look, the good responsibility, and good communications. Order takers, the person who takes some orders, collect some order. Technicians, like you go to the supermarket, you go to the card shop, they have some people to provide the knowledge, to provide some information. Demand creators. In this case, you might need to have this person a lot because this person can create the demands for your products. Solution vendors. Sometimes you have a problem about your product and service, and then you have the person who can solve the problem. This is the sales representatives. What is the job for our sales representatives? First one, anticipating. You need to predict the demands of the products or the service. You need to target the consumers. You need to focus on the specific group of the consumer. You need to communicate with your consumers. You need to sell. You need to give some services. You need to inform and then collect the information and send back to the company. And last one, you need to design or allocating the product or service. Like this is the new product, but it's not fit with this group. So you need to make some suggestion back to the main company. So this is the sales task. Actually, I would say sales is very close to the real or the current consumers. If you can make the sales effectively concerned about your product and service, and then they can send the feedback to your company very clear, and then it's good for you to develop the products. So how you manage the sales force or salesperson? First one, please carefully recruit and selection. So the salesperson that you need to have they should be first trustable. They should be trusted by the consumers. They should be honest. They should have the service mind that like to help the other people, have good responsibility. Then Make sure that these sales know your product and your company well. So in order to have that, human resource department might take care of this one. So they might do some interview and do some examinations about the personality because salesperson should be the person who can talk, who can use some make some decision in some cases fast, like careful decision makers. So this is recruiting and selecting. Second one, you need to train them. Train in terms of the knowledge of the company because it's you need to use when you're dealing with the other company. Products knowledge, consumer knowledge, and also the competitors. Know the competitors well, you can create and you can prevent some bad things from the competitors and selling process. Is it easy to do some sales process or you need to have many steps? So please think about it. Train. Then supervising. So after you train them, you need to have some people to train more, like supervise them, but just in the different level. Like some time manager might supervise the follower to use some policies, and then you need to follow him or her. Motivating. Because the bad things for the sales job is the time for them is not quite fit or scheduled. The time is quite different. So they need to be ready all the time. Then sometimes they might have the issue on money, the social and personals. Like for the social, like some people don't think sales job is good. They look down on the sales job. And about personal, it's like if you have the family, sales job might not be good for you because you might not available at the time that they want. Last one is evaluating. So you should concern about both quantity and quality. Quantity in terms of the sales, like what you did and what the other people did compare. You did better or you did worse than the other people. Or for this year and last year, how about the sales that you have? So that is first two things about quantity. Then think about cost of the salesperson and also the profit that you made for the company. Quality. Quality, please think about consumer satisfaction and sometimes you can evaluate from the peer or the person around you or your friends too. So step for making effective field selling. First one is anticipating or and qualifying. So you need to have some information of the company, products, the competitors, and the market. So you try to collect the information and to predict it. And then pre-approach is like you analyze the potential target consumers because you have some information from the first step. Then you try to narrow it down and then focus on the group that is needed. So you should concern about the need of the consumers or person who have some influence on making decisions on in the company or in general. Then approach. So make sure that you use the salesperson with the good result because you need to meet with consumer expectation and try to make attractiveness from the salesperson because if you can do it your company will have the profit because the people gonna trying to be the person who buy your product more or create the royalty. Then demonstration. In this case, you need to present some product or service to the the company. So demonstrate might be good and try to use the presentation technique to convince them. Then overcoming the objections. So sometimes person salesperson might have some limitations. So you need to control and remove some possible rejection. Like sometimes the consumer they might play some trick about your products, like they need to have many discount that you can't offer. So you might need to know how to reject or how to say no for this offer. Then leading to purchase. So if you can make the job done or deal with the product, so you can close the process. It's lead to the purchase. Then you need to follow up. So good salesperson, they will call your seller, your buyer, and then they try to link, they try to monitor, and they're trying to communicate with them. Like sometimes you have post-purchase service, like calling to the company, okay, are you okay about my product? So what you need to have more. So that is the post-purchase. Or sometimes satisfaction. Make sure that you measure the satisfactions of the product or service. And sometimes salesperson might revisit or visit to the company that made the purchase too, in order to trying to keep the connection and build the relationships. Then we finish the advertising, we finish the salesperson. How about sales promotion? So sales promotion is actually key ingredient in marketing campaigns. So it consists of many collections of the incentive tools, but it's used mainly on the short terms because we need to have fast actions, like stimulate quicker and greater purchase at that time. So in this case, I would say if you think about advertising, advertising is actually you advertise or give some information or the reason to buy your product. But sales promotion is like you give some more benefits to the consumer. So we should say, is this an incentive to buy? So this is different perspective. Sales promotion too is first you can use promotion in terms of the consumer, like giving some samples, coupon, cash refunds, price off, premium prices, or rewards like member free trial, warranty, tie-in promotional, cross promotion, point of purchase display, and demonstration. All many things here is the consumer promotion. How about trade promotion? Is you can do is like reduce the price, doing some advertising, display, or sometimes you give some more benefits or like the allowance back to the salesperson or free goods to the people. Then business and sales for promotion. So you can do it in terms of showing in the trade show or exhibition or convention. Sometimes you encourage them by have the contest between the sales representatives, like make them fight. If you have the highest sales, you're gonna have more money, or specialties advertising. So this is example of sales promotion tools. Actually, the sales promotion we use for three purposes. First one, attract new users or brand switcher. We try to make or convince them to use your product. If they are not your user yet, you use sales promotion to make them feel or select your products. Or even the brand switchers. It's like if you know your brand is have some better or have very good point, but they did not know yet. So you can use the sales promotion to increase the awareness. So you can have some chance for them to select and change their brand loyalty. Reward loyal customers. Actually, sales promotion is used for consumer benefits. So it's like you said thank you for dealing business with you. Then you want to give something good returns to the consumers. Increase the repurchase rate. Actually, sales promotion specifically used for this purpose. We need to have the amount of the repurchase. So sales promotion might lose some part, but it can increase the demands and increase the sales. The process of sales promotion. At first, you need to know about the objectives. So if you're dealing with the consumer group, so the objective might be increase the sales, try to create the new user or brand switchers. If you're dealing with the retailer, so what you should do is the objective is to have the new products in the company or in the stock, trying to make them buy in the mass production, in the mass volume. And then you can do in like off season for agricultural products. Sales perspective is also promote the new product and off-season perspective too. Off-season is mean it's not available at that time, but sales promotion can do some objective to encourage them to buy the off-season products. The second one, select the tools. Make sure that you're concerned about the market type, the type of competition, and the objectives from the first stage. Then develop program. You need to think about the incentive size. If the intensive size is not big enough, sorry, the consumer might not feel like your product is worth or is good for doing or buying. So you need to create something big enough to make to draw attention from the consumers. Engage condition. Like try to link them with your product. Reaching medias, how they reach the media. Is it easy or is it hard? Timing. How often you see the promotions on the market or how you send the message to them. Then don't forget about planning. Like sometimes you produce this a lot, but the sale is not linked or is not matched. So you should balance between production rate and sales rate. Then pre-taste. After you have a good choice or a group of sales promotion, you would do pre-test for having the suitable tools in order to observe the impact of incentive size and effective presentation. So it's like you just try to show to the small group of target group, this is good or not. Or if you hear this sentence, if you hear this campaign, if you know this program, you would like to buy more products or not. This is pre-taste. Next one, implement and control. So make sure that you're concerned about lead time or the time that you send the sales promotion to the audience. How long did they receive the message? Sales of time is mean the time that you set for this promotion. Like I'm a big fan of all coffee. So they have the campaign about if you buy the coffee in the morning and you have 10 baht discount in the afternoon. But the time is just 33 days only. So that's mean I need to think about it. If I have many coupon, many discount, I need to use it before it's expired. So this is sell off. Last one, evaluate result. So you need to evaluate the performance of the salesperson or sales promotion before, during, and after launching the promotion. And then you can do the survey. So you can do survey in terms of the representative of the consumers or the individual consumers, but mostly I found that they do mainly on the representative of the consumers. The fifth one, so we're dealing with public relation. Public relation is actually the action that they use or you use for building a good relationships between the companies with the consumers. We're the public cities. So you use the medias and then send the message where the event. Like you have the press release when you want to launch the new product, or when you have a problem about your product, you have the press release to solve the problem, to let the the media know what you did. Sponsorship, sometimes you should think about the sponsorship that they will be sponsored, then you need to use some public relations. Then special event. Sometimes you have used the special event in order to make the public size or the public cities. Like last week on Friday, I just used the special event named Food no no Innovation Days to promote my school product, which is Sprite made from papaya and pineapple. That's I use the special event web page. So this is the internet things that you can use this public relation, like you post on some Facebook or some group that specifically used with for the specific people. So let's talk a little bit more about public relation job. So what we can use or what is the benefits of public relations? First one, you use public relation when you want to launch the new product to let the consumer know this is the new one. Second one, repositioning a major product. Like sometimes your product is quite stable. So if you want to move your positions, you can do the public relations. Then building the interest of the product categories. So if your product category is quite stable, so you can do public relation to create the more events, like something more or something that is changed. Like you have green tea, then you have green tea mixed with the other tea from America or in India. So you can build more interest. Influence specific target groups. So you can use some specific media on public relation in some specific group of people too. Just send the message directly to that group. Defending product that have encountered public problem. So a good CEO is that you when you have any problem, they would be the first person who confront with the problem and just announce what they do, what they did. So this is defending products. Like try to solve the products, try to um, be nice, trying to be honest with the consumers, building the corporate image in the way that reflect favorable products. So not just the product have some impact on the purchase, image of the company also have the impact. So in this case, you're trying to to create a good image of the corporate. So in this case, it's going to be good for your company and also your products. So let's talk about the major tools that you can use for marketing in public relations. You can use publications. It's like you can use the medias in general, like books or newspaper, or for now it's going to be Facebook. So that is publications. Event. You can use the marketing PR on the events or sponsorship. So you have some sponsor, you can use the sponsorship to announce your public relation too. So you can use the news, the speech, the public service activities, or identity medias. It's like specific medias that your target group is in. So this is example. Process of marketing PR. At first, you need to know the objectives. So if you have the new target group, so you make sure that you create the awareness. Then make them trust about your product or service that you explain. Then sales stimulation, trying to increase the sales. Then reduction of promotion cost. Sometimes the objective of your um, prom- promotion public relation is not just create awareness, create the trust, create the trust, create the sales stimulations, but is used for reduce the promotion cost because public relation is the cheapest one. Second one, choose messages. So make sure that you select in an interesting or group of interesting content and then send to the public. Because if it's not interesting enough, it's just the news in your organization. It's not attractive. So, but if you do something good, like you go to help some people and it's have a huge impact, that is that should be the chosen one. Suitable medias, trying to think about a good vehicle or good media that you need to use because it's linked to how you link to the consumers. Implement, careful implement is mean. Public relation is quite dangerous in some cases. If you say something wrong, if you do something bad, so it's going to reflect to your result. And try to be connected with the editors or the person who have some power in the company because that person gonna be the person who cheer you up or pull you down. And don't forget to have the fast service unit. Like if you have some problem, they will willing to help immediately. Evaluate result. So make sure that you have the public relation trying to, and then you trying to make sure the spread ability, how it's spread. Can you change the attitude of the people or the consumer and our sales and the profit that you have? So make sure all three things. Last one, direct market management. So direct market is actually the the direct connection that you focus on just specific group of the consumers. So you can use in many terms like direct mail, telephone, direct response, television, or like direct TV, email, or internet things. So we use this one direct marketing because it's very convenient. You can search, you can have information 24/7, every time, every day, ready to access many products. So if it's direct, it's like online shopping, you can compare the products, compare the price, access to the comparative information and about the company, product, and competitors. It's like what we just mentioned is linked to the second choice. You can compare, you can choose the one that you like. Like sometimes the cheapest one might not be good quality, but the moderate price with good quality is the best. Last one, interactive and intermediate, because direct marketing is like you communicate directly to the sellers or buyers. So it's like immediate response. Here are examples of direct market channels. First one is personal selling direct marketing. It's like the person, but we have the person in terms of direct markets. Direct mail that you ever have some email that okay, I have new product, would you like to buy it or not? So this is direct mail. Catalog is like the paper that's present the product list. Then telephone marketing, it's like you call some program, then just order the products. Direct response TV marketing is like TV direct, that we have the chat, we have the person who try to cook, and then they sell the products. Kiosk marketing, oh, this one is like you have the vending machine, like the machine that you can just use some coin or the bills, and then it's just give you the product that you need. Digital direct marketing is this a lot for now. It's also online marketing. We use a lot of platform, different platform, Facebook, Line, Instagram for have direct marketing. So what is the process of direct marketing? At first, again, you need to have known about the objectives. So in this case, you need to target and do some segmentation and also the objectives of the direct market issue. Then you send the message, you send the need and the objective to the message to develop the message that is suitable for your consumers. Then don't forget to test the message. At the same time, you send to the medias and database. So in this case, you have the database of the consumers and you send the media to them. After you have the message, you might send the offer to the consumers. Then have the response and order. So you in this stage, in this step, sorry, you deliver the message and measure the response. Like you just show the ads and then how consumer watch the ads. So this is the response measurement. So response measurement, if it's not work, you can move to the message again to develop more or trying to create something new. So if it's work, you can collect to the database too, the information, how frequently that they watch. So if you success in the step three, you can fulfillment on step four, like deliver the products, generate the lead, and add to the list of the products. So in this case, it's mean like you have good response, then you're trying to be the leaders on the market. And in this case, you also send the information back to the database as well. Last one, you follow up like relationship building. So you're trying to make a good relationship. So direct market can do that's very easy. If you can do that, it can be returned to step three, like respond and order to create. Or if it's not good, you trying to convince them to have a good response or change something or offer them something that's going to be okay too. So in this case, you send to the database too. So here are all the process of direct marketing. So last thing, I would like to ask you to do assignment for the promotions. Please present your own ideas on how we apply the promotion in all five aspects we just learned. Advertising, personal selling, sales, promotion, public relations, and direct marketing for this type of coffee. Deutschland coffee from Chiang Rai. So I would like to see your ideas how you think what you should do for five aspect here. So please submit this homework next week. And this is all for these chapters. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope you learned something from here. Okay, I'm gonna stop presenting and stop recording. Okay. Hmm. They did not allow me to stop